Do you want more leads and more revenue through your website without having to spend more on SEO, ads, and marketing? Hey, I'm Sam Dunning, co-owner over at webchoiceuk.com and host of Business Growth Show podcast. And today we're going to be sharing with you exactly how to do that. So first of all, we need to build a list, and we basically need to compile a really detailed list of all the questions that we get asked each and every day by our prospective customers and our existing customers. So we don't just want to put anything. We want to put the questions that we get each and every week. If you've got a team, then get your salespeople together because they're going to have the intel here. Or if you run the business yourself, then you're going to know these answers. So if I use us as an example over at webchoiceuk.com, most weeks we'll get asked questions like, how long does it take to get page one of Google? How do we build a website that generates leads? What is the best platform to build websites on? So these common questions that we get, think of those. Perhaps you provide CRM solutions. So perhaps you're getting questions like, how do we link up Google Suite into HubSpot CRM? Or what's the best CRM for small business? So think of these questions that your customers are literally coming to you with each and every week, not just ones that get occasionally asked, but ones that they're constantly asking. So you know there's demand around these queries, and build a list packed full of all these common questions and get the help of your team if you need. Once you have got your list of these questions we know there's demand for, you need to create a long form piece of content. And this is going to act as a pillar piece of content that we can then repurpose, which we'll talk about in a second. So that could be a video or podcast, just like I am explaining to you now, or it could be a long form article. And we want to make this as detailed and as helpful as possible. If you want ideas, what you can do is do a quick Google search of some of the questions that you're looking at. There might be some content there, and it might say, look, here's a few bullet points on how to do it, or perhaps here's a video explainer. And essentially you want to take nuggets from there, but add to it. So make it as detailed as possible, but beat the competition that's already ranking on Google. So if they've done a blog, great, make yours more useful, make yours more valuable. Perhaps you want to add a video, perhaps you want to add infographics. So add value onto what's there already. Or if there's nothing there, obviously make it as value packed as we possibly can for this long form article, video, or podcast. Once you have put this together, the next stage is to repurpose it. So let's say you've got a long form piece of video content, just like I'm explaining now. We can then take the golden nuggets, so the key valuable tips and takeaways, and repurpose that into a blog article, which can go on a website, an infographic, so image breakdown of how the system works, or perhaps we want to add a page to our frequently asked questions section on our website. So all of these things, we're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. They're going to be picked up by Google, and they're going to be useful bits of information for when people are searching with these exact queries. What you can do as well is, if you are targeting certain search terms that you want to be found for on Google, you can weave those in. We don't want to stuff keywords in anywhere though. We want to make sure they're actually highly relevant to the piece of content. So if that is an article, or if that is a frequently asked question page, we want to make sure they're actually relevant to the subject, the conversation that you're talking about. And ultimately, if this piece of content is genuinely useful, if you are sharing tips, if you are giving away a range of different angles on how people can attack this question, and ultimately being as useful as possible, then Google's going to find this as a great piece of content, and it's going to start to get ranked when people are actually searching for it. Not only that, but you're going to have a happy sales team, or if you run your business, you're going to have a lot less stress, because each time people ask you these questions, you don't have to spend 5 minutes explaining all the answers. You can say, no worries, I've got this useful resource. Take a look at this page on our website, or take a look at this video or this article. It's going to tell you all you need and more. Not only that though, there is a statistic that shows that many website visitors that actually go onto your site never get in touch. So I think it's almost around 98% of people that go on your site will never ever inquire. But if you've got useful information that answers their questions that they might never reach out to you on, it's going to put you top of mind because you've helped them out. You've answered what they wanted to know. So when the time comes that they are ready to discuss a project, buy your product, buy your service, you're going to be the one they reach out to because you helped them and you're top of mind, feeding them useful content. So when they are ready to take action, you are the one that they use. So I hope this episode has been useful. As always, any feedback's appreciated, and do hit subscribe. With that, we'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers.